Texas Podcast Massacre contains spoilers and adult language. For more horror, visit us at our website at texaspodcastmassacre.com.
Welcome to another episode of Texas Podcast Massacre, coming to you from Houston, Texas. I'm your host, Mitch, and with me, as always, is my co-host, Nate.
Once there were 3 bears that lived in a dark and wet cave above a small town. Every day, Little Bear went to school, and at night, he would come home and eat dinner. But one day, the little bear came home, and Big Bear and Baby Bear were different. Big Bear got sick, and his insides turned black. Big Bear has become more angrier and meaner because they had no food, no meat, but they had each other. Hey, guys, how's it going?
So, bedtime in Portland's been going great, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I know.
Sure. And also with us, Queen of Unsuspecting Victims, Lisa.
Who in the hell made me watch this?
Nate did. This is
It was me. It was 100% Nate joined.
Welcome to another episode of Texas Podcast Massacre, where each week we take a look at a different horror movie and debate a horror-related topic with our unsuspecting victim, who's usually not someone we would consider a horror fan. Lisa. Nate wanted us to, I guess, to relate just in some ways about him moving to Portland and really kind of digging in on that, really trying to pretend that we're there with him, really trying to, keep that connection alive. And so
this is actually from the Oregon Tourism Board, this movie.
Oh, wow. They want to rethink that. And that's why this week we're talking about the Wendigo film Antlers, which we've talked about. We've brought up a number of times in previous episodes, at least in our news segments. So this one was produced by Guillermo del Toro. He wasn't really involved in like directing or I think the screenplay. I think he just kind of put his name on it from a production perspective. So
does the monster have cool antler things? I'm in. That's what he said. It's like monster antlers. Where do I put my name on this thing? That's basically was it. Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
I'm excited to hear your thoughts, but yeah, so this is a Nate special. Lisa, you had seen the trailers for this movie, right? Previously before, or were you totally cold into walking in?
I had seen the poster and I knew that Kerry Russell was in it, and that's about it.
Okay.
Well, we're going to get into it.
Kerry Russell, good. Jesse Plemons, good. Antler Monster, good. Everything's great.
We'll find out if everything is in fact great coming up. This is going to be something. I know, Nate, you've been excited for us to watch it. We would have done this episode last week, except, we couldn't deprive you all of yet another Leprechaun film. I'm still waiting for, I've noticed that my Puppet Master entry keeps getting bumped down, Nate.
It does. Anyone's like, hey, there's this one movie I might think about doing. Okay, I'll bump. That's fine. Okay. Don't worry about it.
Nate is just a 5-star review of Puppet Master. It just means that it's going to just put it even further down the list. How quickly does it fall is the question. We got to get someone to moderate how you manage that list. Puppet Master's coming. Puppet Master's on Shudder now, Nate. I mean,
it's an art, not a science. So there's that.
There is that. Well, all right. Well, look, we're going to get into it. But of course, before we talk about Antlers, let's have a debate question.
Bid our father, the Sea King, rise from the depths full, foul in his fury. Black waves teeming with salt foam, to smother this young mouth with pungent slime.
Oh, man. My hope is that, Lisa, we'll get a new drop for the debate, but it's going to come from Willem Dafoe and the Northman. So I don't know that it'll be any better for you, but it'll still be on brand. I can't wait. We are T minus what, like 30 days from that movie coming out?
I don't even want to think about it. I just want it to happen to me. Oh, so good. Very excited.
Oh man.
Okay, so the debate question. I got a good one. Okay. So Antlers is set in Oregon. Is it filmed there? No. It was filmed in British Columbia. But, you get the gist, Pacific Northwest. There have been multiple multiple. It's the first. I'm already preempting myself with the first movie name. But there's been multiple horror movies that have been filmed either entirely or partially in Oregon, and I want to get your guys' take on which one's the best.
Sure.
Are we excited? Let's start with previous episode, Green Room.
Okay.
Another Oregon Tourism Board entry, I'm assuming. Green Room. Lisa, remember Green Room?
Are you running for like the culture board? I mean, or something like the tourism board here with all these?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
None of these movies. Well, there's one movie that might be interesting. I think Lisa's going to like a couple of these movies.
Sorry, you'd ask. Lisa, do you remember Green Room?
Do you remember Green Room?
No.
Patrick Stewart, Nazi.
With Anton Yelchin, they go to that like punk rock like club.
Did you watch this one?
Yes.
Yeah, you watched
and
it.
They get stuck, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Gosh, I vaguely remember it.
Okay. There's that one. There you go. That was a highly rated movie. We got. I'm gonna mix it up here. I'm gonna mix it up quite a bit. We got Cabin Fever, the remake from Eli Roth.
Just move on.
Yeah, next. Okay, fine.
Well, wasn't Eli? I mean, he was involved in the first one, though, right? Like that was.
Yeah, he directed the first one, then he helped produce the second one, which was essentially a shot-for-shot remake 14 years later for a bad movie.
Awesome.
Yep. Twilight. That's right. Twilight, filmed in the Northwest. A lot of it filmed in the Northwest part of the state. So excited. Twilight. Lisa, I don't think I've ever heard your Twilight takes.
I'm a fan.
You're a fan. Okay. See, there you go. Yeah. And let's bring it all the way back down for Lisa. Ring 2 takes place.
Oh my God.
In Oregon. We also got a classic Halloween Town. I feel like, Lisa, you'd be a Halloween Town fan.
Halloween Town? Yeah, yes. I don't think if I watched them, it was a long time ago.
Interesting. So, I thought you'd be a huge fan of that. I can't stand that movie. I can't stand that one. What about, and these aren't all horror films, but what about The Goonies?
Yeah, what about it?
What about?
The Goonies is good.
Okay.
I think we lost the question. I think we lost the plot of what the question is for the debate. These are just movies.
Which of these is the best? These are all Oregon movies. Which of them are the best?
Well, okay, so far the Goonies.
The Goonies is the best one. All right, Behind the Mask: The Rise of Leslie Vernon, the mockumentary film.
Yeah, I did not believe Lisa has seen this one, but I really like Behind the Mask: The Rise of Leslie Vernon.
See, there you go. There you go.
I didn't realize that was a Portland classic.
Well, not Portland. It's Oregon. Most of these are not Portland. Okay. It's Oregon based.
Yeah. So Lisa, this one, it's like a mockumentary about a guy who is like wanting to be like the next great slasher. And they're like following him around. It's real weird. It's kind of hard to describe. it's kind of pegged as a sort of like dark, like black comedy type of thing, but it turns on you pretty quick. I don't know. I really liked it, but it's certainly unique. I'll give it that.
Yeah, it's kind of a cult classic, but good. Now I'm not really going to claim this as the movie because none of the movie was shot here, but exteriors for the Timberline Lodge right near Mount Hood was the outside of the Overlook Hotel from The Shining. So you're welcome, Oregon, for the creepy outside of the Overlook Hotel.
Okay,
there you go.
So Lisa, of that illustrious list, which one?
Illustrious.
How are you ranking those? What's your top movie out of that to come out of Oregon, of that list?
Hold on now. I'm trying to look up something real quick here.
Okay.
And if we're going non horror movies, throw in Kindergarten Cop and Free Willy real quick too, if you want.
What if I told you there was a show that was in Portland that Mitch and I used to watch called Grimm?
Oh, that's right.
Oh, no. What's Grimm?
Oh, Grimm is great. And it's pretty bad, Portland. But it's great. Grimm was about a police detective who becomes a. It's not like a. How would you describe it?
He's a Grimm.
So it's sort of like a vampire hunter type of thing, but it's like for all the different like fairy tale creatures, right? So they like hunting like witches and it was a little bit more like supernatural, but more of a cop procedural.
Interesting.
Yeah. But there was but they all had like German names. So like the werewolves were called Blutbads and the witches were Hexenbeasts, and his captain was like one of the creatures that, but he didn't know that, like it was, and there was a whole thing, but like, so they were all like, for the most part, they're all like monster episodes. It was like a little like less serious. X-Files is probably a closer, and again, Supernatural is probably as well. It was like a less good Supernatural, but it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. Yeah, Lisa, I forgot all about. It's been off for a little bit. I forgot all about Grimm.
Okay,
yeah, and it took place in Portland. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
yeah.
Grimm.
A lot of murders happened in Portland, according to Grimm. So enjoy that. Now, I will say the leads in it, both were pretty fantastic. I'm trying to think, but the CGI on some occasion was decent, but in other shots looked real bad. Like real bad. Some of the creatures look great, some of them looked terrible. I don't know, Nate, you need to just like search, but like, because they were all sorts of things. Like they were just like random animals and stuff too. Like it didn't really make sense. And then they had like crazy German names. Like one girl just looked. I mean, here
it's on Amazon Prime. Everyone, recommendation. Grimm.
I'm surprised it's not on Peacock, given that it's an NBC joint. Oh man, Lisa, I'm down the rabbit hole now on Grimm.
I'm telling you.
There's a whole thing on like the worst CGI ever. They clearly like either ran out of money or they only saved it for like the good scenes. But it's like not quite Scorpion King level bad CGI, but
that would have been incredible.
It is rough, Nate. You need to watch it. You need to watch some of it. I'll have to find some like particular episodes for you.
So is that the winner for you guys? Is Grimm over all the other stuff?
I don't know. I just went down a real deep rabbit hole. I mean, I still think Goonies is probably like the quote unquote best.
Lisa, can I convince you with a Homeward Bound potentially?
Oh, Homeward Bound.
See?
That's a good one too.
Look at that.
Wait, didn't Short Circuit take place in Oregon?
It also did, yes. I skipped that because of Johnny Five whatever that terrible accent was.
Oh yeah, I guess it's probably
terrible.
Tanya's took place there. I mean, these are not horror movies.
There's a bunch, and I would say the fantastic movie from last year from Nicolas Cage, Pig, is a fantastic movie. It takes place in Portland as well. But I just wanted to highlight, and again, this episode sponsored by the Oregon Tourism Board. Oregon, it's not all monsters. There you go.
Unless it's
not all monsters.
Not all monsters.
It's not all monsters. So there you go. Yeah, some Oregon movies recommendations for people to check out.
Dr. Giggles took place in Oregon, Nate.
Okay, I can't go through every single. There's so many movies.
But how are you gonna miss Dr. Giggles, Nate? For as much as we talk about the old VHS like box art shit from like the grocery store,
how am I gonna miss Dr. Giggles?
Dr. Giggles
pretty easily.
Dr. Giggles.
Pretty easily.
Dr. Giggles, classic VHS trash horror film.
Classic is
18. Lisa, 18% on Rotten Tomatoes. 5.2 on IMDb.
No. Classic is. Yeah, I overuse that word a lot, and that's a bridge too far for me. Yikes. Yikes.
Well, we'll find out. If you want us to watch Dr. Giggles, 5-star review, baby. Give us that on iTunes, Podcast Addict, wherever. Email us at this point. Just let us know where you're leaving the review. Sharing the show with your friends, talking us up on social media, any of that stuff, right? Share us, as we've always said in the past. Share us with your friends. Share us with your enemies. I don't know what Mother's Day's coming up. Subscribe her.
Share it with the leprechauns in your life. We got plenty to
subscribe. Have her go on your mom's phone. And actually click subscribe, or however your mom. Like my mom doesn't listen on her phone. She's doing this on her computer. So I've subscribed numerous times for my mom's computer, and she keeps telling me to stop it. That she's not interested, but I keep trying. And just one day, do that for your mom. That's the gift that keeps on giving all year round, right? I say so.
It's like Sherry's berries and our podcast. Like those are the two things you need to get your mom. Hey, who are these berries? From? QR code. It's like a download directly of our podcast. Let us know what you think about whatever Mitch just said. 346-246-3143. Again, 5-star reviews on Apple Podcasts or your other podcast platform of choice. TexasPodcastMassacre@gmail.com. Let us know your favorite Oregon movie.
Is it Portland Expose? The 1957 crime drama? Who knows? The Apple Dumpling in Oregon. The Apple Dumpling Gang. Oh, How to Die
in Oregon, which is about legalizing euthanasia. So, on that note.
Hey, Nicolas Cage's Pig takes place in Oregon. Well, I mean, that's
what
one.
I just said. I just said that.
Nate,
it's amazing.
Nate,
it's an incredible movie.
How many years? You still haven't learned? I'm not listening.
Incredibly good. I listened about whatever Grimm is. 2 M's? Come on, guys. What are we doing here?
How did Pig get a 96% on Rotten Tomatoes?
Because it's incredible. Everyone should watch it. It's really good.
God. With that said, we are going to get into this week's movie of the week, Antlers.
What's going on?
We found a part of a man in the woods today.
Part of a man?
I guess the other half was found in the mine. Oh, this has got to be an animal, right?
No animal that I've ever seen.
Something is going on with Lucas. These drawings belong to a student of mine.
This is what was in the mine. It's a diabolical spirit.
Excuse me, this is a myth.
Well, for you, yeah.
He's not your responsibility.
He has no one. He is my responsibility.
He'll come for me. He needs me. He's here.
There you go. Antlers. Nate. Oh, sorry. Excuse me. Lisa, unsuspecting victim. What was the elevator pitch for this film? What is this about?
Don't even ask me.
Don't even ask you. Oh, man.
What in the hell is this movie? It is the worst embodiment of so many things. The elevator pitch for this? What if a psychotic nature animal took over? I don't know.
Wendigo. What? That's what
that was.
That was the elevator pitch right there, Nate. Good job. Just someone walked.
What
in
if
the room and said,
Wendigo?
Wendigo.
I appreciate that we just got through the trailer. Lisa's
You,
already
sir, are a raging psychopath.
I like that we're already like broaching Lisa rant territory. I'm very excited for this episode.
Yeah, you preloaded that one.
Nate,
wow.
What can you tell us about whatever this is, Antler?
Whatever this is. Antlers came out October 29th, 2021. Obviously, massively delayed due to the pandemic. I think it was supposed to come out early 2020. Obviously, did not occur. Still ended up making about $36 million in the box office, which is not too bad considering it came out in October. We got a, I think, low 5.9 IMDb. I think we'll disagree on that one. The director is Scott Cooper. You might remember him from Crazy Heart. Jeff Bridges. It's a good movie. Mm-hmm. Nobody. Hostiles. No, nobody.
No.
Christian Bale. Okay. No. Black Mass, where Johnny Depp is Whitey Bulger.
Oh, I thought that was Man in the Iron Mask, but okay, that makes more sense.
Wow. Leonardo DiCaprio does not look great at that one.
No.
Yeah, okay. Well, all right. And then Scott Cooper's got another movie coming out this year that looks like it's tagged as crime, horror, and mystery on IMDb, but also featuring Christian Bale and Gillian Anderson. Okay, now I got Mitch's attention.
There you go.
There you go. So there's that. We got Kerry Russell, who's fantastic. Kerry Russell of Dawn of the Planet of the Apes fame. Obviously, The Americans, one of my favorite TV shows of all time. So you want to know one another TV show recommendation. Grimm and The Americans, probably two of the most different shows possible. Not much into horror, to be honest. Although more and more actual, like, bigger actors are doing horror movies, which I am super pumped for. We also got Jesse Plemons. You might know Jesse Plemons from every movie that comes out now. He's in all of them.
Yeah.
He's in all the movies. Hey, what was he in the last couple of years? He was in
Power of the Dog, which is up for Best Picture.
Yeah, Power of the Dog, obviously there.
He was in Black Mirror episodes.
Yeah. But he mixes it up because he was in Judas and the Black Messiah, which was obviously Oscar nominated from last year. Power of the Dog, Oscar nominated this year. But he'll also throw in a Jungle Cruise in the middle of that.
Oh, he was fantastic.
Just for fun.
Cruise.
He was in the absolutely
so good in it.
Yeah, he was in the absolutely strange I'm Thinking of Ending Things on Netflix in 2020. He was also in The Irishman and in El Camino, the Breaking Bad movie.
Sorry, he was in Thinking About Anything? Yeah.
Oh, he's like man.
That
movie
book,
is something.
well, that book sucks, so I can't imagine the ending's great or the movie was any good. I mean, he's fucking Todd from Breaking Bad.
Yeah, I'm going through it here. I'm going the most recent stuff.
Sorry. I'm just like it's Todd.
Well, hurry up, Nate.
That's what I know. He had to grow that stupid mustache because everyone was like, "Hey, it's Todd from Breaking Bad."
I don't know. I've never seen Breaking Bad, so that was
my god.
He was in an episode of Children's Hospital.
You've seen Hostels, but you haven't seen Breaking Bad.
That's correct. He was also in Fargo with his wife Kirsten Dunst, an incredible role of Ed Bloomquist in Fargo TV series.
And in the new Fargo stuff. Okay.
Yep, and that highly recommend that. And he was one of the creepiest characters of all time, and the hilariously well done Gary in Game Night. Highly recommend watching Game Night specifically for him.
Oh, Game Night's good. Yeah,
he's very good at that. So anyway, that's Jesse Plemons. He's in all the movies.
He was in Varsity Blues. Who the hell was he in Varsity Blues?
I didn't want to go all the way back, but yes, he's in.
Oh my god,
he's in everything. One person I want to highlight is Graham Greene, who plays retired Sheriff Stokes in this film. He's in Twilight movie, so I have to highlight that, obviously, for Lisa. But he is basically kind of like the Native American person in a bunch of movies, but some of them are quite good. He's in Dances with Wolves. He's in the spectacular Wind River. This is his all recommendations this episode. Just go watch Wind River because it's incredible. And he plays a sheriff in a movie coming out called Dead Again H2, which is a sequel to Hack! Our heroine comes face to face with horrors she only dreamed about. That's right. He's in terrible horror sequels as well. So I had to highlight that. And the only song on this soundtrack is a song called Leave Oregon. So there you go.
Is that also part of the tourism?
No, that was actually the Washington Tourism Board paid for that one. Taglines for this one: "It hungers for you, and pray it desires not you." Some of the worst taglines I've ever heard.
Yeah, that's a little wordy.
This one,
a little wordy.
These are bad. Filmed in Hope, British Columbia, but basically this is just the most Pacific Northwest movie ever. It's supposed to take place in Central Oregon. That's it. So opening thoughts on this one. I'm interested to hear what Lisa thinks specifically. What do you think, Lisa, on this one?
I don't know. I'm torn on something. I've been trying to go into movies lately with little to no sense of what they're about because I feel like trailers are ruining everything lately.
I agree. I don't like trailers anymore. Yep. But
I'm starting to wonder with some of these, so I need to watch the trailer so I know what I'm getting myself into.
Yeah.
Because literally, I had no idea what this movie was about except Antlers. It's such a weird, awful movie. I don't even know how
is it. How is it awful? Let's break that part down. I'm interested to hear what was so awful about it. Well, Children in peril. Yeah, that
was not great. To where, and bless Mitch's heart, he tries to protect me as much as he can. He's sitting there next to me like, I don't know, that kid might not make it, just FYI. So
that's what's become of your movie going or your movie watching experience.
I've gotten,
or Mitch is just like, this kid just heads up. This kid is in trouble. Right?
Yeah, I've gotten a lot softer over the years, whereas like years ago, you would have known something was coming because I'd have been watching you and not the screen, right? Like, let me see that reaction. I know it's coming, right? Now I feel like I have to like, okay, look, I don't know how this is gonna go down. It's probably not good. I would just get mentally prepared and ready for the worst.
Yeah. So I was not thrilled about all the kid stuff, obviously. They just took it to such a great extreme. So yeah, that was my real big beef with it. That's just I'm not thrilled at all with that sort of stuff,
What about the execution of the movie itself, or the acting or things like that? Was that okay? You just didn't.
I mean, the acting was good. No, the acting was good. I think the main kid, well, both the kids, 3 of the kids. I'm trying to think how many kids were in this.
There's so many kids in trouble in this one.
The 2 main brothers did great. They both did great. The bullies did fine. They were bullyish enough.
Meh.
And all the adults in it were good. I mean, the acting was very good. Don't get me wrong about that. But I don't know. It was just such a weird premise, and it was just confusing on how you handled this monster thing and how it transferred to a person, and then it became the person, but it really wasn't. And it was just very weird. I don't know. And I get, I mean, maybe I'm reading too much into it, but I get, they had that whole quote at the beginning about Mother Nature and all that stuff. And they're talking about the coal mines and how they're going to reopen. So I'm like, okay, I kind of get what you're getting at here, but I don't know. It was just very odd movie for sure.
Okay. Wow. Mitch, what do you think?
Nate, you were so excited for us to watch.
I am still excited. I'm still excited.
So I mean, look, let's talk about the thing high level before we get into details. I mean, I'll talk about the things that worked really well. The gore scenes, all the gore was great. If that's what you're kind of in for, I mean, it's super gory for sure, and particularly when you do see the monster and the attack scenes, those are very well done and very creepy. So big props for that. The creature, look, I said this before. I've always been concerned that this movie was going to suck, but that the monster was going to look great. And confidently report the monster looks great. The Wendigo looks fantastic. I love the creature design. Yeah. Definitely more traditional Wendigo, not like that Until Dawn game, their version.
Mm-hmm. It's like a zombie, which is basically zombies.
Yeah, almost. I mean, it's like a giant golem coming after you, right? From Lord of the Rings. This one, they went more with the deer humanoid creature, which I thought was just creepier. I thought all those scenes were good. That transformation scene, which we'll talk about, was intense. Overall, though, I thought the movie was just, I don't know, it was just very bleak for a lot of it.
Yep.
And bleak without a sense of major purpose, right? I'm okay with movies being kind of bleak and depressing and all that, but with something tied to it. Like for instance, what's that one? The Lodge? Yeah, The Lodge is miserable. It's a miserable experience, but it's a great film. But you're not supposed to have fun, right? It's one of those type of movies. This one was just the real horror is all the horrible abuse that's happening to these kids, not the big ass Wendigo running around. It was just weird. It was like a I don't know. The Wendigo very often took a back seat, I felt like, to the other things happening to all these people in this shitty town. Right? Versus being part of, I don't know. It felt like 2 separate things happening. And maybe that's where I kind of got lost with the story a bit. But no, the Wendigo itself looked just great. So, yeah, whatever money Guillermo del Toro put in, it all went to the Wendigo budget. Let's.
Yeah, I guess I would say the atmosphere was extremely bleak. But, I think it informed that the way you grow up is such a huge, or your surroundings are such a huge impact on your life. Also, can we get some good parents in this movie? Jesus.
Right.
None of the parents were good. Bad area, bad, bad parents, meth, just not the best, the best setups. And yet some people, have to leave. Some people stay. This is the Jesse Plemons dynamic of the film. The kid, very creepy and very good in this. Very good. Like, I was like, dang, this kid's going to be creepy for a long, long time. Lucas, basically, like, decides to stay with his family, even though they're turning into Wendigos and like, whatever, crazy. But he shows family in a bad scenario. It was interesting. But the Wendigo is so freaking cool.
Yeah.
Oh, so cool. Only downside for me is that there was one scene where it was kind of outside, right? Mm-hmm. And it chased like the bully guy. Ooh, man. Yikes. There goes. Does the kid die in this one? Yes. Do multiple animals die in this one? Also, yes. Yikes.
Yeah.
If you go to doesthedogdie.com, you're just going to see all red for this movie. So just heads up on that one. Yeah, but the Wendigo is never really in space, probably because it costs more money. So I couldn't find out how much this was made for, but they probably didn't have the budget to do more outside stuff. The Wendigo is inside in a cave, or in the mine, not cave, in the mine, like by a shed, that kind of a thing, but never really in space, which might have been on purpose, just again for the cost, but also to like keep it claustrophobic, like the thing can pop out at you at any time rather than like kind of chasing you down on the run. You know what I mean? So that was that I didn't care for, but I thought the acting was very good. Kerry Russell, super good. Jesse Plemons, super good. Graham Greene, super good. Kid, super good. Like the top, 4 or 5 people in this are extremely solid acting wise. I would say the weakest part was the story. There's a very brief, it's a very cliched scene, but they talk to the Native American guy, he's the old he's the old sheriff in the area, and they show him this little thing. It's like, oh yeah, that's one of our stories passed down. And he has to explain it all to the white people and be like, nah, that can't be it. Spoiler alert, that's it. So
yeah, and I mean, let's hang on that for a second, because like, to me, that's kind of a problem I have kind of with the film. And I mean, look, we're dredging up, like, we've run the course on so many like traditional monsters. So like picking a monster that comes out from a different culture makes sense. It's just that it's like, yeah, we had to have a token Native American to come in and like explain it so that like,
yeah, I don't like, yeah, I mean, he should have been part of the crew. He should have been part of the crew the whole time. Right. I don't know. He's pretty solid actor. So.
Exactly. Right. I mean, I think there are other ways they could have handled it and done it. That wasn't just like, and it'd be like trying to do La Llorona, but then like having like one Hispanic actress just mention it and then like,
yeah, I know, right? It's like so ridiculous.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense, right?
Wouldn't it have been hilarious if the whole movie he would have been like, "That's a Wendigo," and they're like, "Nah, like this guy just got whatever," and then he's like, "It's a Wendigo,"
yeah,
like, and then he's like, "We got to call this person's whatever." He's like, "It was a Wendigo," and they'd be like, "Nah, we got to go check it out." That would have been awesome. I would have laughed a lot. If that was the case, but yeah, I mean, it was instead Jesse Plemons' partner was, I don't know did you catch who that was?
His partner? No, it's been a little bit. Maybe
partner was Rory Cochrane from Dazed and Confused and Empire Records.
I blink, or has it just been that long? Who was he?
What?
Oh man, I'm looking at him now.
Empire Records, Dazed and Confused. No, nobody.
I never watched Empire Records. I of course know Dazed and Confused.
I'd have to look it up again.
Oh man, you guys are killing me. He had long hair.
Well, yeah, he doesn't look like that now. What do you want me to say?
I'm just saying, it's the guy. It's the guy from Days of Confused with long hair and the like.
Who is he in Days of Confused? I can't even.
He has long hair and like a beret.
Nate, like half of them have long hair. And what are you talking? Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, he doesn't look anything like that. He doesn't. He's riding around with Matthew McConaughey. Yeah.
He's got the same face. You're welcome. Anyway.
Nate.
Anyway,
I
noticed it right away. Anyway, you got him going around instead, just kind of like a nothing character. I would have loved to have seen, Graham Greene just be with him the whole time. And then he's like, this is my last case. I'm retiring. You're taking over. Oh, even better. If you want to do a cliche, do that one instead. And then he gets to hang around the whole time. But that said, the story is probably the weakest part. They don't really go into the lore other than that one kind of scene. And that's it. I would have liked a little bit more. That said, the quote I did in the beginning where the boy writes that story and draws those pictures. Oh boy. I mean, the picture drawing of creepiness is high levels. We've seen a lot of movies with this, and these are top tier creepy drawings from this kid. Yeah. So,
I mean, I think this movie would have benefited, I think, a lot if they had really focused more on just the monster movie, like the aspect of it, instead of like this focus on a lot more of the emotional abuse and trauma.
Oh, the monster is just the symptom of the larger problem.
Oh my God. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. It wasn't in this.
That's what the movie is trying. It didn't link it as well as it probably
it tried to give us the Babadook, and it didn't. That's basically what. And that's, you know what, you don't have to always be the Babadook. You could also be a movie about a badass Wendigo murdering folk. I mean, I could have been like, maybe this, we talked about Grimm. Maybe this would have worked better in more of a police procedural type of thing versus so much more focus on her as the teacher trying to connect with this kid and watching him get like beat the shit up by this bully, just so that we would like be a little bit more okay with this kid just getting like straight up mauled to death by a big ass deer monster.
And they used a lot of practical effects, which is why they had to do, or some, obviously there was some CGI, but they used practical effects a lot to do that. Which is why it was in the smaller areas. But did you want more of the Wendigo? I thought there was just enough Wendigo. I thought it wasn't like.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was fine.
That's what I'm saying. You got to have that other stuff. It was a little clunky.
You have to have a story for sure, but clearly, they didn't have that anyway. So might as well just give me more of the monster. I agree that what we got of the monster is great, but I feel like we got so much of the monster really in the last like 30 minutes versus spreading it out more throughout the film, right? So like. You just had this long drought of nothing, of, the dad and his brother are locked in the attic for the longest time. And he's bringing in roadkill in between getting ice cream with his teacher. And then like in the
ice cream
last,
is my favorite vegetable. Come on.
The last 30 to 40 minutes is when the creature finally erupts. And then even then, you still don't see the creature a whole lot until like really kind of the very end, right? I mean, you have this like epic.
When the bully gets killed, you see it, and you're like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, and like I think maybe this movie should have started with the dad busting out, and that's where we come in, right? With and like some murders kind of happening off screen, and then you slowly keep introducing the creature over time, right? That may have been a little bit better. Versus kind of what we saw, which is like the dad's just in the attic. The dad's,
well, he's getting worse, but yeah,
I understand. It just, I mean, it's
Lisa. What would you have done to improve this movie? Other than not
made it.
I'm out ahead of you on that one. I knew it.
To improve it.
Yeah, because I mean, obviously the setup is not your bag for sure. But
take the kids out of it. Why did it have to be the kids? What was the point of that?
Because the kids always bear the brunt of other people's terrible choices. like Carrie Russell's dad and
so
the
they
meth
were
guy
trying
dad.
to say that the children are our future and we're destroying our future with coal mines.
Correct. And meth in the coal mine.
Oh yes, sorry, and meth.
Yeah, they're hitting them from all angles.
Sorry, meth.
Sorry, I gotta make. Hey, you're talking about Jesse Plemons of Breaking Bad. There you go. Now he's on the other side of it. Yeah, but okay. So take the kids out of it. Oh, I like that. But yes, okay. So you're saying take the kids out of it. Okay, leave the kids alone. And just go after the adults who are being terrible.
Yeah.
It could be a vengeful Wendigo.
Yeah.
That's like selective, leaving the kids alone, only taking out. Okay. That would have been interesting. I like that. It's okay. If you're not doing meth in making your kid like the skinniest kid on earth who's not eating food, then they have nothing to worry about. That kid was so skinny. Oh, I was so worried. I had to tell
myself it had to have been CGI.
I don't know. I think the kid was just real skinny.
He went to the Christian Bale School of Method.
Yeah, well, this guy does all Christian Bale movies. Oh God, was he like, hey man, I need you to lose like 20 pounds? And the kid's like 9 or something.
Do you want that Oscar or no, kid?
Oh no, the director's getting a Wendigo turned into a Wendigo at this point. Jesus. Wow. Yeah. Okay. All right. So no kids, and then maybe more of a vengeful, like a revengey type Wendigo. Okay. I would like that.
Here's can I just ask this? Like, what exactly was the Wendigo supposed to represent? Because I'm more aware of what it's supposed to outside of this movie. I didn't really catch what the point they were trying to make with the Wendigo in this film versus like what that connection was supposed to be.
Well, it's because people were I think it's the embodiment of like greed, right? Which is like, I think it was double. It was people keep taking things out of the earth and being greedy, mind style. And then also with the meth component of it, because then you're being greedy and hurting others to get money as well. So it was like a societal one with the mind and then an individual one with the meth. And then that combination on like sacred ground.
But
then triggered the Wendigo scenario. I don't know. That's my understanding of it.
Sure. Look, it might as well be anything. Cause I don't think they laid it out, whatever the hell they were trying to do. The greed doesn't make as much sense to me, only because like, these are like, these are people who aren't working in the mine. They've been laid off. They're just trying to make money. It's less greed. It's more like, hey, we need I have 2 kids I gotta feed. How do I do?
And they're doing it, I think, because they're like hurting others and like feeding off others to do it with the drugs. I think I'm guessing. They only explained it in the one scene and it wasn't super great. But then I think it's the greediness, because then the Wendigo has to keep eating like for infinity and it's like never satisfied. I think that part is definitely linked to it, which is why it has to keep eating, right? Other than that, that's why I'm saying I wish there was a little bit more. I wish the sheriff was there the whole time and then was like, holy crap, like that, like he's there, right? And he sees like the little totem thing, and you see him just like thinking like, oh shit, like he's the only one who's kind of freaked out when he sees it, right?
I would just prefer if he just ran, like he just like, fuck this, and just ran. He recognized, he's like, yeah, I'm retired, y'all got this.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna quit 1 day early or like 2 days early or whatever. But no, and then I think what would have been cool is that he notices it and he's like, wait, I know that from something, right? And then in between the stuff, he's trying to look it up, right? And then he says and he brings it to them. They're like, bullshit. Just like they did in the movie, right? But then it's got the link across, right? And then he's there. And then, yeah, maybe at one point, like he's there and the Wendigo is like going after people and then he pieces out. That would have been incredible. Oh, that would have been good too. Yeah. So there's some missed opportunities there.
So Lisa, were there any scenes in this movie, any parts of this movie that you did, I hate to say enjoy, but like anything that stood out to you as kind of a positive, or like things that you thought were really well done, maybe something that just stayed with you. I'm curious if there was anything memorable for this movie.
That kid in the nurse's office was brutal. That was, as a parent, that was brutal.
Yeah.
That kid was in bad shape. Sorry, I answered for you, Lisa.
Well, I was about to say, I don't think that was going to be Lisa's answer, so you're probably okay.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure Lisa wasn't like, oh yeah, that's that scene where the kids were hurt. That's my favorite.
Well, not favorite, but I was like indelible. Yeah. Whew. Yeah.
I will say, I was going to say nothing, but I will say Carrie Russell reaching out as a teacher to try and help him was probably the only bright spot in this movie. Her actually giving a shit, you know?
And it was crazy because just like in the story, right? She kind of left her brother, like with her very abusive dad. Mm-hmm. Sounded like physically abusive, sexually abusing. Grossness, seems like, right? They don't go 100% into it, but seems pretty obvious. And then she kind of does the same thing again. She leaves him, like he gets hurt, and instead of like taking care of him, she's like, "Nah, we gotta go do this," and kind of leaves him again. I thought that was brutal too. There was some, a couple beats I think that hit, and then it just the tie together didn't work.
So did I miss it, or did we talk about the end of the movie?
We hadn't talked about the ending, so we can jump there. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I thought, they go through this whole thing, and she manages what she thinks is to defeat the Wendigo, and then of course she realizes that the little brother is infected by the Wendigo. Whatever. So after all this crap is over and done with, then they're standing on the beach somewhere, I guess, and she's gonna, I guess, take in the little boy survivor. And as she and the little boy survivor are walking away, her brother just starts coughing like the dad and the other brother were coughing. So they kind of leave you on a cliffhanger of,
he's got the Wendigo-itis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was fine, that ending, to leave it on that cliffhanger. It was okay. I don't know. What did y'all think about it?
Well, there's not going to be an Antlers 2. That's for sure. So
thank goodness for that.
Okay. That's Antlers 2. I don't know what
electric boogaloo.
No, that's too easy.
Gross black goo. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it was, hey, this movie's depressing, and oh, look, things are looking up. Well, we don't want to let you walk out of the theater feeling good about yourself. So let me kick you in the dick one more time. Is really how I felt about the ending. Like, can't let you leave on a positive note. I don't know. Again, it ties back to what's again the point of the Wendigo now, because then is now he being greedy because he wanted his sister to stay and not abandon him every 5 minutes. I don't know.
I think it's because the the stuff that happens to others and in the abuse that they get, stays with you and makes you vulnerable to this thing at the same. I don't know. That was a little surprising to me too, because it impacted the son after it impacted the dad, because the son, he walked down there too. Yeah. Yeah, that's tough. Yeah. So again, there's a couple things just don't tie in super great.
Yes, I mean,
Can I just say,
yeah, go ahead.
Promise everyone listening, Nate's child is okay. It's just bedtime.
Yeah.
I just got to throw that out there while we're talking about this movie.
We came back from the mines. It's all good. Don't worry about it. I am upstairs in a room by myself. Don't worry.
So when does the meth lab kick off? Is that after we record or?
I don't know. I'm still scouting locations. I've only been here a couple of weeks. Jeez.
I mean, look, just make sure. I don't know what your health insurance is like. Just make sure it covers spitting up black goo at the end.
I don't know. That's black goo is a tough one. It wasn't pre-existing, so I got that going for me.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. You know how these insurance things are.
I don't know, but the end is interesting. It's like a cycle of psychological drama that keeps happening, right? It's kind of showing that happening across, but yeah, it's never quite like I like all the ideas, and that's kind of more like. I think that's why I like it more. Is I like all the ideas, even though they didn't all kind of tie well. But I like all the things they were trying to do. I just wish it was just the writing mainly. If the writing was a little better, I think this really could have been. This could have been Nighthouse-esque for me, but probably never going to be Bob and Dirk level. But as you said, Mitch, but just not quite hitting it. That said. A lot of good parts. So I'm interested to see what you guys rate it.
All right. Well, with that said, I think let's get into it. Let's get into the final cut.
Final cut.
Lisa, would you like to go first?
Oh, goodness.
I like how both of you, it never fails. Every week, no matter who I pick, it's always like you aren't shocked.
Nobody wants to go first.
Pick yourself then.
No, I control the drum. I control who goes first.
That's what I thought.
You have a 33 and a third chance of going first.
I think it's higher than that.
Probably, that's probably fair.
It was not great. There was a lot of stuff I did not like about this. I think I'm trying to even think what I want to give this. Its only redeeming qualities are the acting was good.
Okay.
And that's about it. So,
oh boy. Oh man.
I don't even know what to give it, you guys.
This is a stumper, man.
I feel like if I give it anything remotely decent,
this is your rate. This is your rating. Just go for it.
I know, but someone on this podcast always goes back and compares it to what I gave to Omen.
You're fine. I haven't done that in like weeks, so I don't know. I don't know a year.
Full weeks.
It's been a while. You just reminded me though, so I appreciate it.
He's looking at the score now.
I am.
Right.
I scrolled up. Oh my god! I still can't believe it.
Damn.
Go for it.
I'll give it a 3.
Okay. 3 what?
1 point each for the 3 main actors, the 2 adult actors and the kid actor that did a great job.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay. Now, Lisa, would you say in your professional at this point opinion, unsuspecting victim friendly? What do you think?
Hell no. I mean, it depends on what subject matter scares you the most. But this has a lot of stuff. This is not just a creature film. This is not just a slasher film. This is not just a child abuse film.
Yeah.
It's all of that. So there's a lot of triggers in here. There's a lot of creepy imagery with the Wendigo. This is not one that I would recommend to just, oh yeah, anyone can handle it. This one's pretty rough.
All right.
Okay.
Awesome. Thanks. And Nate.
Yeah, so I have a little more favorable ranking of this. The good acting, I think the acting's good. The monster is incredible. I would say one of the better monsters in a while that we've seen. I like the atmosphere and its bleakness, and I like some of the story beats doesn't tie together super well. That being said, 7 out of 10 come to Oregons for me.
Easy.
I liked it. It's good. That's why I recommended it. And my recommendation was absolutely trashed. And that's okay. Well, this and I haven't told anyone this, but this is kicking off our Oregon month. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, God.
Twilight.
See you next week for the Goonies.
Yeah, hey, we can review the Goonies. I'm okay with that. There's horror-ish elements in there.
That's fair.
There you go. But no, it's a bleak movie. You know, good acting. I'm kind of surprised that with some of these movies, like, you know, low mid-level horror films, like they're getting some pretty good actors now. I think before, like, actually established actors didn't want to do horror films, right? Like, kind of like, that's what the young people do before they get big, right? Jennifer Aniston last week in Leprechaun, for instance, right? And now you're seeing like legit people be in some of these movies, which I enjoy. It's good because you get some like actual solid acting in horror films, you know, which didn't used to happen a little while ago. So yeah, digging it.
All right. Well, it's up to me now to dredge the waters here. I mean, the problem that I have with this is that I just feel like they were trying to blend two different things and just couldn't quite stick the landing, right? You know, if you want something that's going to have a lot more of that emotional trauma and, you know, that kind of like really just depressing, bleak, you know, almost, I mean, that what you really get from like most elevated horror films, because that's what this is really trying to be. It's trying to be an elevated horror film. But you know, it's not at the level of movies like Hereditary or It Follows or Babadook we mentioned, or like, you know, Midsommar. It's not at that level. And then even on the creature feature side, like, you know, I think it misses the things of what makes a lot of like those creature movies, like, you know, think like Pumpkinhead or which, you know, is kind of a similar ish movie, right? Creature wise, or really, I mean, so many of them. I think it's trying to do too much and not doing a good enough job of connecting connecting what's going on. It does really great in terms of gore and the actual creature design. You're right. And I found that when the creature was the main focus of the scenes and those elements were going on, I was much more invested in the movie there. But I think everything else beyond that, I just didn't care because it took so long for it to build up. And then I still didn't quite, it never really like stuck the landing on what any of the story was about, right? It was just too weak on that point. And, you know, like I said, not everything's going to be one of the aforementioned elevated movies, but this is, I don't know. I don't want to say boring, but it just wasn't as good. Right.
Yeah. Well, what's your score?
My score. Oh man. I'm going to give it 4 out of 10. I don't even know. 4 out of 10 roadkills. It's on the left side of okay. There's not enough of the creature for my liking in terms, like, I don't need to necessarily see the creature more, but I needed the creature to have more of an impact on the film than it did. Like for we only really started even talking about A Wendigo being around in like the back half of the film. Like, it wasn't like it was just always there. It was that the dad was sort of changing. major points for the transformation scene because look, any werewolf movie will tell you if you stick that transformation scene, you can get away with a lot, and that was certainly the climax. But the build up to that was okay, but then after that, I don't know. I've waffled on it. I've kind of gone between 4 and 6, but I think I'm gonna stick with 4. There wasn't enough of a story there, and that's what I really wanted out of this. If you're gonna go bleak and depressing, you've got to really kind of stick the story, I think, right?
I mean, it helps. It helps if you stick the story. You're doing anything, to be honest.
Well, okay, sure, but I mean, think about like movies like Tammy and the T-Rex, even Pumpkinhead, right? I mean,
okay, hold on, Tammy and the T-Rex. Okay, you got my attention. Okay,
right? No, but I mean, and think about like some Puppet Master, right? And I know this is like,
okay, now you lost me.
I know, right? Me, yeah. Think about these creature features, right? The story is basic bare bones, but it's good enough because you have that. Doesn't have to be a perfect story, right? It has to have certain beats. Piranha, like any of those, right? The stories themselves aren't like anything great. You're not going to have some like life-changing affirmation, right? But they're also not like sitting there trying to be gloom and doom, and they can still be pretty worthwhile and fun and all that. This movie doesn't want to be fun, and that's fine. But if you're going to be not fun, if you're going to be like if you want to be moody like Twilight and have some weird like message, you've got to stick the lane. It's not good enough to just be like, there's stuff here and you can maybe piece something together.
What did you think? So the other movie that popped to mind that I hoped I would never have to think about again. What did you think about this compared to Mama?
Mama,
because I feel like they're very similar movies.
That's a great comparison, actually. Mama, I probably feel very similar to Mama. I would actually, if you had me rank them next side by side next to each other, I would probably put this Antlers right above Mama, but largely because of the gore, like the practical effects and the creature design. But same kind of thing. Like I think Mama, the story wasn't really there, right? I mean, it had some points, but it was okay.
Yeah,
I think I like Mama more than you too. Dang.
And truthfully, I'm giving this a 4. Because I'm being critical, right? I mean, it's not like it's a
You're just ripping down Guillermo del Toro based producing.
Okay, well he produced it,
You just don't like when he produces. All right, it's good to know.
Oh, good to actually, wait, he produced Mama too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That you just don't like movies he produced.
Yeah, I guess not. I guess not. Get more involved then. Yeah, but no. I think that is probably do you want a gorier Mama? Then Antlers is for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a what a great comparison. I didn't even think of Mama.
No one asked for.
I didn't even. I know, but Lisa, let's end this on a very positive note. I'm so proud of you, Lisa. Look how far you've come that you pulled out Mama from the depths of something.
You know why?
I forgot about Mama like entirely.
You know why? Because the ending of Mama haunts me to this day.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
Do you guys remember?
I remember.
Yeah, I remember how it ends. Yeah.
With the kid willingly going with the creature.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
it will haunt me for the rest of my life. It is
That kid was fine.
Oh my gosh, Nathan. Okay. Anyway, this is what 4 years of this podcast have done to me.
Oh.
Lisa just used my full name like you're like my mom. I feel like I got in trouble just now. Nathan. Like,
I'm over
no.
here about to write a comparative thesis on Mama versus Antlers.
I would first of all I'd read that. For sure. Well, hey, you got even more Guillermo del Toro produced movies coming up. You got Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark 2.
Nope, not happening.
Yeah, Yeah. Really? Not happening?
No. I didn't watch the first one. I'm not about to watch the second one.
There's a live action horror anthology series called Cabinet of Curiosities.
That sounds like a nope.
It's got Rupert Grint in it.
Well, there you go.
Okay. And she's back.
I don't know. And she's back.
And she's back. Well, look, watch Antlers this month. See if you agree with us. And then Mother's Day, subscribe your mama to the podcast while you're watching Mama.
What a tie-in. Do we got to do Mama for Mother's Day? Do we got to do Mama for Mother's Day now? Yeah.
Maybe.
I think it's happening now.
We need to get, and Lisa, for that one, we need to get more of Mama unsuspecting victims so that you can all have a shared trauma, because that's what really builds friendships, is shared
trauma for Mama.
No.
Trauma for Mama.
Trauma for mamas. Oh my God, Nate. Yeah, we're making that happen. That's now a thing that's happening. Get ready for Mama for Mother's Day. With that said, Nate, where can they find us?
You can find us, as always, at GX Pod Massacre on Twitter, Texas Podcast Massacre everywhere else, Texas Podcast Massacre at gmail.com for your emails. Give us a call, 346-246-3143. Send us a voicemail. Let us know your favorite Guillermo del Toro produced movie that Lisa does not care for. Give us a 5-star review, Apple Podcasts, Podcast Addict, all your other podcast platforms, and get excited. We picked a movie. We figured one out during the episode, which means Puppet Master pushed down yet another week. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Look, if we actually end up running out of things and have to do Puppet Master, I'm gonna be disappointed.
Nate,
so,
they are not all as bad as The Littlest Reich.
I mean, that doesn't seem possible. So I wasn't even entertained.
Nate, there's 14 of them. There are bound to be at least 3 good ones, and I know which ones they are.
I feel like your objectivity
Nate,
in this is
Puppet
not
Master has been around for almost as long as us 3 have in this world.
Was that supposed to be a good thing, or I'm not sure?
I don't know.
I'm not sure if
all I'm saying is give Toulon a chance.
Okay.
I really am excited. Please give us a 5-star review and put any of the Puppet Masters. Maybe one of the good ones. And one of the good ones is the first one, and then 3 through 5. Less 5, maybe 3 and 4. Those are great. And because I want Nate to have to go in detail talking about his favorite puppets from the Puppet Master franchise.
Oh God, yeah, this is I'm
so many.
Lisa, are you looking forward to this? Are you looking forward to this?
To Puppet Master?
Yeah, I mean, I can't be the only one that's not liking this. Good.
Is it Decapitron? Is it Pinhead?
Yeah, I like.
What about Leech Woman?
Wow,
the names are not great.
Lisa's right on the episode. Wow, harsh.
Tunneler. Oh, Tunneler's great. Tunneler was probably my favorite as a kid, besides Blade.
I like how there's
Shredder Khan.
Can one just be named Gary? Like what? Why does it gotta be so obvious?
One's just named Ninja and Tank. One's called Matt. So there's that.
Okay, Matt. All right. Here's Tunneler and Decapitron. Here's Matt.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So there's.
I'm back in on it.
All right.
With Matt.
That's not one of the better ones. But it's hard to say. I wish Puppet Master was tied to a holiday, so I'd be able to like you would get Leprechaun, and then I would get Puppet Master, and we just go back.
Yeah, because no one wants a puppet based holiday. That sounds like the worst holiday of all time.
There's got to be a ventriloquism day.
Oh, what?
There's got to be like a national holiday.
I think there can be a puppet.
There's National Ventriloquism Week, July 26th. 22.
Oh, okay. Well, then I guess we'll have to wait till that. All right. Fine.
All right, that's fine. I can wait a few more months. I've waited so many years. I can wait a few more months. Is this a real thing?
National Ventriloquism Week.
Because it can't be contained in one day, baby.
Wow. Okay.
All right. Well, we'll be here for you for National Ventriloquism Week and all the other weeks. From all of us.
What do you do on Wednesday of Ventriloquism Week? What's the Wednesday like? What's the middle of what's the middle of the celebration? I mean, come on. What are we even doing here?
We'll find out. Let's make that a goal. Can we do that one like for on location?
There's a convention. I'm now seeing as well.
Please. Can we get a booth and set up a Puppet Master booth?
Oh my god! Then you get sued so fast.
There's an ad for Jerry Seinfeld talking about National Ventriloquism Week. This is a thing, Nate. I'm so excited. This is, oh my god. Hold on. If you go to vhconvention.com and just look at the scrolling images, there's like a convention of like a bunch of like people with their ventriloquist dolls. And there's one with a bunch of kids with theirs. So we got to see the stars of tomorrow. Oh my god, this looks like the stuff of nightmares. Apologies to anyone who's listening and is really into this, but holy shit, it was in Kentucky.
It was in Cincinnati Airport. So quick flight.
Oh, at the Holiday Inn. This is Christ. Well, we will be broadcasting live July 13th through 16th at the Van Haven International Ventriloquist Convention.
Oh my god!
The adventure continues. Oh my god!
Rich, stop it! This is terrible. Okay.
Oh Christ! How can we be sponsored? I'm gonna see how we can sponsor this.
Oh my god!
On that note, from all of us here,
Lisa, just imagine like 100 whenever they get sponsored, they always like send, it's a clothing thing. They send you some clothes. Oh, it's like a Manscaped. They'll send you like one of the shaver things.
Oh, Nate, you're
gonna get like 100 like ventriloquist dolls sent to your house.
Nate, we gotta register. We gotta register now because it's 160 for the first family member, but after May 1st, it goes to 175.
God. What a steal.
Oh, there's a Van Haven museum, Nate. Christ.
Well, don't worry. Those people don't have any significant others to spend their money on.
I like in the FAQ, will I fit in since I'm new to the vent? I love that it's called the vent. Oh my god. This is the greatest. Oh, guys.
Lisa, blink twice if you need to get out of there. Jesus. Oh my god. You're gonna wake up and like
Nate,
Mitch's gonna be practicing in the middle of the night.
We can start with Dead Silence, move into Puppet Master, and do like 3 Puppet Master.
My god, we're gonna do a whole month.
Oh, we can do a Child's Play, a Dead Silence, a Puppet Master.
It's a whole month.
I mean, there's and the boy. Yes.
Okay.
We did
happening.
We did it.
Happening.
We did it. Forget your ventriloquism week. I'm giving you a month. You're welcome, Texas Podcast Massacre listeners. From all of us here at Texas Podcast Massacre, thank you so much for tuning in, and just keep telling yourself it's only a movie. Good night.